Hey everyone, so I am here with the Indian Express newspaper and today's date is 7th March 2026. Okay, so let's begin today's session. So, this is the first page or the front page of this newspaper. At least 87 were killed. Were killed after warship Iris Dena was torpedoed. It's torpedoed near Sri Lanka. I know sometimes I pronunciate words not very clearly, but the thing is that I try my best. Okay, so let's start and let's read. Okay, so before it was sunk by US, Iranian ship was offered shelter by India. Panel led by MOEF, SESI suppressed FSI view on Aravali, amicus informs Supreme Court. Essential partner US US gives India 1 month waiver to buy Russia oil. 9,000 Indians stuck in Iran. Center works on plan to bring them home. Nepal rejects old guard. Balance Shah 35 is set to become PM. Karnataka and Andhra move to ban social media use by children. That's the good initiative. Siddaramai says those below 16 to be banned. Not going anywhere will monitor how government works Nitish to party. How do we convince people about his decision? See India as a peacemaker, one of the few countries that can talk to everyone. This is the second page and you will get detailed explanation of first page on this page. Okay, so please read it. This is the second page and this is not that much important. Also about city, and these two pages are mainly given at the overall local news. Okay, like this one where civil service examination topper. I come from privilege but work hard, says All India rank 3 Akans Dhal on his journey. Another UPSC a long haul. First take care of your mental health, says AIR 7 from Jamia Millia Islamia. Not that important, that much. About the politics, visiting Iranian minister joins Rezina dialogue. Trump wants to resign. Change. Can't even appoint NY mayor. Iran DY finance minister. Moving from this. Okay, about nation. Rajasthan doctor tops UPSC exam in third attempt. Still doctor and tops UPSC examination. There were distraction, but I put in 8 to 10 hours. Wow, क्या ऑब्सेशन है लोगों को यूपीएससी से. Look at this. Like लोग अपने प्रोफेशन छोड़ रहे हैं just because to become a UPSC aspirant. Kerala woman clears UPSC. Decades after mishap led to amnesia. Put her in wheelchair. Granddaughter of slain Ranbir Sena, chief all set to join IPS. Stop reporting TRPs for TV news channels immediately. Government to bark amid West Asia conflict. Declared foreigner spent 2 years in detention camp. Assam woman get citizenship after 7 year fight. World Obesity Day, 4th March. This is the important this because this is the editorial page and which is released by the authors and their point of views are written there. There are some article inside this page. Okay, so before reading this page and any article, you have to read only one article, either the smaller one or either the big one. Okay, so that you can able to improve your vocab, your English, everything. And if you want fluency in English grammar or English, then you have to read this editorial page, explanation page, economics page, these pages in very detailed manner. Okay. So wordly wise, the hardest thing of all to see is what is really there. J. A. Baker. War is waged as a spectacle. We have devised new strategies of moral evasion. Pratap Bhanu Mehta. When US Secretary of War, mainly about the war, okay, as a spectacles, I think it's about the Iran Israel war. Okay, and what's the point of view? Let's read about the author's point of view. So, when US Secretary of War Pat Hegseth spoke of causing death and destruction from the sky all day long in Iran, it was not simply an aggressive summons to havoc means destruction, or any apocalyptic prophecy. Tell me meaning of it, intentionally or not. Okay. So ईरान में जो डेथ्स हो रहे हैं और जो डिस्ट्रक्शन हो रहे हैं, it's very heavy or it's in very big amount. Okay, big in quantity. So it was remanded for all the utter global moral void of this moment. So all war are terrible, or either any party win, either Israel, either Iran, anyone, any country win, they have to face a lot of issues, a lot of problems. Okay, so this time Iran, Israel, or and US, Iran, these three countries are inside the war. Perhaps more than most seems to have unless with sole objective of perpetuating its own fury. So the war exists to achieve no aim. It is not a war to conquer or liberate. It's about granting the purpose of weakening Iran and granting too much dignity by other two nations, Israel and US. Okay, so the real aim of this war is to simply continuation of its own violence. So war is all about performance. The more you perform, the more chances you will get to win. Okay, so an expression of power rather than an instrument of rational purpose. If it has purpose, it is only this: to test the next generation of technology, missiles, AI targeting system, cyber warfare. So, did we learn the lesson of Iraq? Was there a plan for the day after? Why does the stated objective keep shifting? Is it denuclearization, resign, keep change, its change, or the break of Iran? What can air power alone achieve? Did you anticipate that Iran would climb the escalatory ladder and try to impose severe economic costs on neighbors? So the question is that to presume that war has coherent purpose, modus operandi, Trump administration has been nihilistic display of power and spectacles. Okay, so all the threats in one threat to another, and every international law imaginable and flawed hard won precedent, assassinating head of state, sinking defenseless ship returning from goodwill mission without warning. So the list will go on. The response is simply be nihilist version of that immortal line. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. The overwhelming nihilism of American and Israeli military power. It all shows the impunity and counterpart of nihilism, and which is embodied by Iran regime. So, in response of US and Iran, the cultivated proxies itself with the ideological vanguard, and the regime was political odious. So it also converted its defensive and insecurity into nihilism of its own. Okay, so it failed to calibrate, means explain in enemies. Okay, so so inside it, the main uh, the main power that the US wished to waste did not need a reason. So has now responded in a final act of desperation by trying to raise the cost of war by drawing the rest of the world into conflict. It embraced the desperate version of frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Okay, so what's the moral stunning of this impact of this situation? So the moral standing of the current crop of world leader is astonishing. Watching Keir Starmer, Emmanuel Macron, and Friedrich Merz exude confusion about their stand on the war is like watching children trip over themselves because their shawls have been tied together. The Gulf monarchies are hardly better. Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia and Mohammed bin Zayed in the UAE. After a year of senseless proxy war from Sudan to Yemen, have left their regimes ideologically hollow. Their mixture of integrating themselves with the West while clamping down on their own civil societies since the Arab Spring has produced leaders who no longer know what they stand for. So PM Modi does know better. This war has revealed the degree to which India has become suppliant to American demand. Okay, so through this Indian diaspora in the Gulf, one is simply in denial about the vacuous reorientation of India's foreign policy, and the China meanwhile appear paralyzed. Part of this may be quit satisfaction are watching the US inflict another upon itself. Okay, so this mainly says about the real obscenity of this movement is not simply the war itself. It is normalization of the world in which war has become performance, but if the great power have chosen nihilism, the rest of the world still has a choice. So the task now is not to take side in this theater of destruction, but to refuse the premise that the will to violence must dictate the term of politics, and what is required is state willing to say that aimless wars waged as spectacle ought to be test technologies will not be legitimized by silence, or else the chorus of this dying civilization will be. Frankly, my dear, we did not give a damn. So, this is the whole article, okay? Two IF officers killed as Sukhoi on training mission crashes in Assam. That's a very sad thing. NIA notice to those who attended top Maoist funeral in Telangana. Temperature shoots up to 10 degrees Celsius above normal heatwave alert in Himachal. As UP gains tourist footfall, women and elderly turn their home into homestay. F1 visas for Indian students drop 69% in June July 2025. You won't succeed even in 100 attempt. Sa slam Rahul over AI event protest. Killing of two cops, UAP invoked against accused after police find ISI link. Maharashtra budget ladki bahin outlay cut 26% to rupees 26,500 crore in fiscal year 27. What about Karnataka? It's bring in alcohol based excise duty, said by CM. Another one is about Goa budget process for hike and license fee for new casinos. Bihar man missing since vessel strike of Oman cost can await call for DNA test. Over 80% of India's LPG import come via critical choke point of Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz. Government orders refiners to boost LPG output to meet cooking gas needs. That's too important that still India is a developed nation, not developing, not developed, it's a developing nation, and the government are unable to satisfy the need of consumption like cooking gas needs. That's very critical. Everyone should have to think about it. Okay, मेले look at the line, the bulk of LPG demand met through import मंगवाया जा रहा है लगभग 80% जो वॉल्यूम है वो आ रहा है कहाँ से स्ट्रेट ऑफ हॉर्मुज से एंड वो सारे वेसल के मूवमेंट हो रहे effectively come to a halt. This is the data. How West Asia conflict may impact other core industries beyond oil and gas. Ongoing conflict may fuel imported inflation. Prolonged crisis could have hit exchange rate, current account deficit. Zero liability for customers in case of lender negligence, said by RBI. Women borrower grow at 14% CAGR, delinquency just 2.8%. So thank you. It's all about today. This one is important. Why China has set its 2026 growth target at over 30-year low. Read it, okay? And thank you for watching. If you have any doubt, then please comment down. I will solve it.